If you have ever walked into like a massive sports bar or maybe a colossal conference center, and just marveled at dozens of crystal clear 4K screens perfectly synced up, well, you are looking at some serious hidden infrastructure. Today's deep dive is decoding a very specific tool from an HDTV supply catalog that actually makes that possible. The Kramer VM-4HDT.
Yeah, that's the 1.4 4K 60 HDMI to long-reach HD-based DA. And since we all know standard HDMI taps out and, well, gets incredibly unreliable past like 50 feet, that DA part, the distribution amplifier, is crucial.
Right.
I mean, we were looking at how this single box takes one 4K source and successfully blasts it out to four separate displays that are located hundreds of feet away.
Yeah, we're talking 40 meters, so about 130 feet for a full 4K signal, and up to 70 meters for 1080p, which is wild. And it's doing this over HDBaseT.
Exactly, which means it is running all of this high bandwidth video over standard Ethernet cables instead of those, heavy HDMI cords.
But pushing data that far introduces a massive physical problem, right? Okay, let's unpack this. Because standard HDMI cables just can't carry that high-quality video without the signal dying.
Right, they really can't.
So I'm thinking of this like a water pump, like pushing pressure through long pipes. But how does a digital signal actually survive a 130-foot journey without degrading into a pixelated mess?
Well, it is not like low water pressure at all. As a high-frequency digital signal travels down a long copper wire, physical resistance causes the data packets to lose their precise timing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the ones and zeros literally start slurring together. It is called jitter.
What's fascinating here is Kramer uses this equalization and reclocking technology.
So instead of a water pump, it's doing something else entirely to rebuild the signal.
Far from a water pump, yeah. Think of it like an incredibly fast translator in a high-stakes game of telephone. The reclocker intercepts that degraded, slurred signal before it falls apart completely.
It cleans up the grammar, realigns the timing clock, and then re-speaks it flawlessly to the next length of cable. It is physically regenerating the digital integrity of the video as it travels.
Okay, so rebuilding the signal gets the video to the screen. But looking at the specs, the device is also passing along IR and RS-232 signals. So I guess this is also about centralizing control.
It totally is. RS-232 and IR pass-through mean that, say, the bartender at that massive sports bar can hit just one button on a central control system.
And turn on all 40 screens at once.
Exactly, or switch the channels, all using the exact same Ethernet cable that is already carrying the video.
Wait, I gotta ask about this one feature. The spec sheet hypes up, quote, IED Pro Kramer Intelligent Needed Processing.
Oh yeah, that is a mouthful.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of marketing fluff. Is it actually doing heavy lifting, or is this just a fancy splitter?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it is genuinely doing the heavy lifting to prevent a black screen. ED is basically the handshake between devices.
Like the display telling the source what it is.
Right, it says, hey, I am a 4K TV, and I can accept these specific audio and video formats. But when you split one source to 4 different TVs, maybe there are different brands or ages, those handshakes conflict.
Oh, I see. So it gets confused.
Yeah. Without intelligent processing, displays get confused, resulting in blank screens or wrong resolutions. The intelligent ED processing acts as a diplomat.
So it's the diplomat and the bouncer making sure the network doesn't crash.
Exactly. It manages those conversations seamlessly so the source doesn't shut down entirely.
And looking at the physical box, it is a compact, fanless aluminum enclosure. Why fanless? Is that just to keep the noise down if it's in a quiet room?
Noise is definitely part of it, sure. But it's primarily about long-term reliability.
This is moving parts.
Exactly. These distribution amplifiers are usually shoved into dropped ceilings or buried in AV racks that nobody wants to open. Fans have moving parts that suck in dust and eventually fail.
Yeah.
An aluminum enclosure acts as a giant heat sink, meaning 0 moving parts. It just sits up there silently doing its job for years without needing any maintenance at all.
So to pull this massive visual feed off, the Kramer VM-4HDT basically relies on constant active management. It intercepts degraded signals, regenerates the clock timing, manages conflicting handshakes, and passes central control commands.
All silently over Ethernet cables. It is a huge amount of invisible engineering just so you can watch a game in perfect fidelity from the far end of the room.
Which leaves me with the final thought for you to chew on. Digging through this HDTV Supply catalog, there is already a whole category for 8K HDMI products.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, if it takes this much intelligent processing, timing regeneration, and reclocking just to reliably push 4K over 130 feet today, how is our physical wire infrastructure going to handle the crushing data weight of the 8K standard tomorrow?
That is a great question.
Right, if the translators are already working this hard, 8K might just break the game of telephone entirely.